Shalom Aleichem, everybody. I started recently a small series of short divrei Torah because I wanted to record for posterity some of the beautiful divrei Torah that I heard during my life bichlal, but in particular from members of my family. I mentioned my father's uncle Leiby and my mother's uncle Nandi Baci. I also had the great merit when I was growing up in Sydney, Australia. Another one of the uncles of my mother, his name was Dr. Eichel, Nandi Baci. He was an inspiring man. He was a medical doctor who, because of circumstances, had to qualify twice to be a doctor. And he also loved learning. He was a Rov, he had smicha, and every Shabbes afternoon, for many years while I was growing up in Sydney, while many of the other boys were going out to play, I had the great merit to go to Nandi Baci's home and sit and learn with him. And he just loved Torah so much. And many of those Torahs that he told me are still with me today. And I was thinking now, in the time of just before Rosh Hashanah, I learned from Nandi Baci the Roshei Teivos of the word Teshuva. He said that Teshuva stands for 5 major psukim in Yiddishkeit. Each one of us, each one of those psukim can give us some guidance how to do proper tshuva. So the psukim are as follows. The Tov is Tomim Tiyeh Im Hashem Elokecha. Should always be pure or innocent or naive, depend how you translate Tomim. But be honest. Be honest with Hashem. Be honest with yourself, in fact, because that's the first step in order to do tshuva. Tomim Tiyeh. The Shin from tshuva, Shivisi Hashem Lenegdi Somid. If you always have the picture of Hashem, not the picture, the image of Hashem in front of you all the time. This is one of the psukim that's always written on the Omud, where people daven, where the Chazan davens. Shivisi Hashem Lenegdi Somid. This will always inspire you to act in the right way. The Vov of Tshuva, Ve'ohavta l'reacha kamocha. What an unbelievable basic principle of Yiddishkeit. The base, Bechol derochecha doyehu. Always, everything you do should always acknowledge Hashem. This was one of the things that typified Nandi Baci. Although he was a doctor, and he merited to bring up 2 more generations of doctors, he always had Torah in his mind. Yes, you have to go and work and make a parnosa and build a nice and be a balabais, of course, have a profession and learn, but always within the framework of Yiddishkeit, in the framework of Torah. Bechol derochecha dayehu. And the last letter of Teshuvah is Hey. Hatznei aleches im Hashem Elokecha. You should always walk humbly. It's an interesting pasuk because it tells us that we have to be mevatel our ego. We have to nullify our own ego and be humble. And I've got many divrei Torah that I'll speak about modesty and humbleness another time. But it doesn't just say be humble. It says Hatznei aleches im Hashem Elokecha. You have to understand that everywhere you go, Hashem is walking with you, and you are walking with Him. And this is indeed in itself a humbling experience. So with these 5 key principles, Tomim Tiyeh, Shivisi Hashem Lenegdi Somid, V'ohavta l'reacha kamocha, B'chol derochecha dayehu, Hatznei aleches im Hashem Elokecha, this is what's going to enable us to reach a true tshuva. And if we're speaking about the Roshei Teivos of Teshuva, I want to also give over the Roshei Teivos that I heard from the Stropkova Rebbe, who told me that there's 2 approaches. You have the Hasidim and the Litvishes. The Hasidim say that Teshuva stands for the following. The Litvishes say Tov is Tanis, Sak Vo'efer, Bechi, and Hesped. It's all, serious, very, Tanis and Sak Vo'efer and Bechi and Hesped. It's a time of, you've got to be grave. It's Tshuva, it's Rosh Hashanah, it's Yom Hadin. It's solemn. The Hasidim, Tehilois, shirois v'sishbachos, brochos haidois. In other words, we can take the concept of tshuva and learn from it that we have to be serious, and obviously, and we also have to be happy because we know that we're coming before our Father in heaven, and if you come to court and the judge you see is your father, you already can be happy. Brachos v'hodos. Aksiva v'chasima toiva to everybody.